Hello, Tigers. How you doing today? For today's foundational lesson, we are going to make connections to our daily target math and our math foundations. So let's get started, shall we? So on the Monday page, you see that just like in the instructions, you have some task cards on the top and then some questions on the bottom. So the first one, A, is pretty easy. What point, well, I say easy because we've done it a lot of times. What point does B represent on the number line? So I look up at card A for A, and I look for point B. I know a lot of you are labeling it up here, and that's great. That's awesome. So before I can label that, I don't want to just look at the number before. I want to look at the entire number line to see what the scale is, or are they skip counting? Are they going by one? So let's think. Let's say the numbers. 407, 408, 409. It seems like they're going by ones, right? So it's plus one, plus one, plus one. And so one more is 410. You can write that up here, 410. But I'm not going to look up at that chart to see it. I'm going to look right here. And right on that line, you should say 410. Sometimes the B will not be right here. It might be over here or a few down the line. And you're going to have to compute that. I think you do that a lot in ST Math. So that's nothing new. Would you agree? So let me erase this. Notice my answer is still down there. Now I'm going to go to the next one on this sheet. Not up there. It might be different. I'm going to go to B. I need to know what they're asking me. Here, they're asking me to draw the equation on the number line. That's drawing it on this number line. Some of you are making a mistake and you're trying to draw it on that A card number line. It's this number line down there. All right? So let's look at the equation. Where's the equation? Oh, it's on card B. So I'm going to look at card B. 15 plus 3, remember that sign tells me what's happening, what the change is in the story. So where would you start? If I'm going to draw this equation on the number line, where would you start? You could start at either one, but what makes the most sense? Are you going to start at the 15 or start at the 3? Thank you for just answering that. I agree. We are going to start on the 15. So I'm starting right there. And then the change is plus 3 is the change. So I'm going to show that I did that on the number line. That's what drawing the equation is. 1, 2, 3. And my stop point is going to be 18. And then it says to write the answer. I don't need to rewrite the equation yet. It just says to write the answer. Right? That's it. So the answer is 18. Too easy, right? Now we're on to C, model of area 1. For the model of area 1, you simply just count these. So we're going to count the area, and it tells me the scale. This is like a graph. It has a scale. Each square is 1 square inch. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On top, 6 on bottom. I know that 6 plus 6 is 12. So up here, I like to write it on top of this instead of just writing it down here because I want to compare it on that graph to see if what I say makes sense. And over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know since this is a shape like that, there's 4 here, 4 here, 4 here. So I could count each one, or I can skip count by 4s. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Did you do it like that? Notice I'm labeling it up here on the picture, but that's not where I'm going to write my answer. I'm just doing that so I can now think about it because I know I'm going to compare them. Let's go back down here to the chart. Do you see that I'm going to have to compare, use these comparing symbols, right? Erase that highlight there. Makes our paper a little messy. All right, so what do we know about 12 in Model 1 and 12 in number 2? We need to say, are they less than, equal to, or greater than? And I'll go, while you're thinking, I'm going to go ahead and put 12 and 12. Because they're each 12 units, right? So now think. And give me what you think the answer is. 12 and 12. Compare them. Are they equal to, less than, or greater than? Answer now. Good job. Indeed, I agree. They are the same, so they are equal. If they were both standing on the scale, they would be equal. So make sure when you're doing your target math, I know which one you meant. I would even, just so I know my teacher doesn't mark me wrong, write the symbol underneath. Because if I just circle it like that, and that's what some of you are doing, I don't know what you answered. So just go ahead and write the number underneath if you want to be sure to get the points. All right. Check, check. It looks like we're halfway done. D says, a solid shape with one curved surface and a flat surface shaped like a circle. I have to name that shape. What should I do? Just try to remember what it would look like, or should I draw it? I'm going to draw it. I know it's a solid shape, so it's 3D. So check. I know it's 3D. I know what that means. With one curved surface and one flat surface, shaped like a circle. One curved surface and one flat surface. A cylinder has two flat surfaces, so it's not a cylinder. But did you see I have to draw to get my thinking out there? So I think it would be more, if it's just one flat surface, that would be this top right here, right? And it's shaped like a circle. That's a curved surface, shaped like a circle. It only has one of them, so it doesn't have one on the bottom. So what would you call that shape? All right. I might agree if you said cone. It's not a cylinder because a cylinder has a top flat surface and a bottom flat surface. And if you're not sure what a cylinder is, look over there at those wipes that we use to sanitize our classroom. That's a cylinder. All right, and then we have 1 minute left to do the last one. And I'm going to show you, not only are we getting this done quickly, we're doing it right, we're not skipping anything, and we are indeed taking 10 minutes to do it. Fill in the graph to match. I'm on E. Fill in the graph to match. Where do I find the graph? Oh, on the E card. So I'm looking at the graph, the favorite candy bar and the number of students. This graph up here is a table, and it just gives information. Down here, we're going to create a graph. So you notice that I put the names from the table up on my graph because when I build my graph, I'm not just going to color it in. I need to know what you're showing me. All right? And then I see that on the table, it says we have 8 students that liked Snickers bars. So I'm going to color in 8 of these squares. Oops, 8. That means 2 will be open because it's a total of 10. And I can clean that up with the eraser, can't I? And then for Milky Way, it says 5. So I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to color in Twix. It says 3, 1, 2, 3. And then, why did I make a graph that says the same thing as that table? Why, oh, why would we do that? I have a question. That's what the next thing is. Write a question. I could write any question that this graph tells the story of, right? Not the table up there, but this graph tells a story. I don't even need the numbers, do I? This graph tells a story. What story does this information tell? Remember, we talked last week about our test scores. What story did our test scores tell? They tell your story, right? But story of what? I'm trying to clean up my graph. It really doesn't matter, does it? Because even if it's a little sloppy, I could still tell. Can I tell just by looking at this graph the number of students that, or what candy the students like the most? Could I tell what candy they liked the least? Not that they liked it the least, but it just wasn't their favorite. So the most favorite was Snickers, and the least favorite was Twix. So your job, and I'm not going to do it for you, is to write a question. Remember, a question asks something. It ends with a question mark. You're looking for an answer. All right? So that is all for now. And I wanted to prove to you that even though I stopped to explain it, I stopped to draw, I stopped to make connections to what we already know, this still only took 12 minutes. So it should take you, más y menos, 10 to 15. Más y menos means kind of, sort of. So right now, my friends, jump on over to your Monday, week 26 target math. Make it happen, captains. See you tomorrow for Tuesday's target math.